in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
What kind of cars is this parking lot? You ain't even know where to park? If you just don't park in the this way, like you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park, just don't park in the gas. No, you can't park in the gas. I ain't be that long. I ain't be that long. How many gas watch it? Boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park in now, this way parking, bro. I tell you we shouldn't park here. You get one of these things. My God big broke, and he got a sticker inside this. This mod though, we gotta move. This is honey gas. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't leave it right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Special birthday greetings going out to Violet Pintard. That's coming in from your daughter Cindy Pintard and your entire family, and also Liz Grant. Hey Liz, happy belated birthday. We hope you enjoyed. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. A live look at the Bahamas Tonight is on your screen, and they are coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. The government defending its budget with the Prime Minister taking the charge, confidently expressing that his administration will meet its fiscal targets, despite suggestions to the contrary by the opposition. Also, the Free National Movement getting some free advice from a former cabinet minister in the Ingram administration on the way forward ahead of the general election. We hear from former DNA leader Branville McCartney. And with International Women's Day being celebrated globally this Saturday, Bahari is ensuring women in the country take part in the celebrations in true Bahamian style. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. In the face of criticism about the amount of money spent on government traveling, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis fiercely defends his administration's decisions and fiscal target objectives in the House of Assembly this morning. The government has spent $38.6 million on travel in the 4+ years it has been in office, and critics have called this budget obscene. The Prime Minister, speaking in Parliament, said the benefits of these international relations far outweigh the cost. Our Felicity Darville has more tonight.
Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis defending his government spending in the face of critics, declaring in the House of Assembly Wednesday that the government will not overspend its budget targets in this fiscal year. Ambitious and confident, the Prime Minister said that his government's arrears as of December 2024 will largely be settled within this fiscal period.
Since this administration took office, the government has not exceeded its budget. I want to repeat that. Since this administration took office, the government has not exceeded its budget. The suggestion we will do so this fiscal year is without evidence, speculative, conjecture, and wishful thinking on their part. We fully intend, Madam Speaker, we fully intend to meet our deficit target for this fiscal year.
He refuted the opposition's claim of a $500 million deficit, noting that you cannot combine current deficit and prior arrears. Now, part of the huge public purse spending has been put to the Family Islands, steering the country on a path of an inclusive economy that allows all Bahamians to benefit.
But now, sooner than you think, those opportunities for education, for work, for business ownership, for professional development, for advanced healthcare will be available on all islands throughout our archipelago.
Yes, sir.
Billions in new private sector investments, hundreds of millions in government-led initiatives and public-private partnerships, rapid advances in technology, new hybrid energy grids to drive down costs and increase reliability of electricity.
The threats of geopolitical decisions, cyber attacks, and climate change are challenges that the government is confronting head-on.
These are challenges that must be confronted by all. That's why we have devoted significant budget expenditures to strengthening and protecting our country. But as serious as these challenges are, and they are very serious, we should also have enormous optimism about our country's prospects. That's because this is also a time of extraordinary opportunity, one in which Bahamians can thrive as we take on long-standing problems with new energy and new solutions. No one should doubt that our little country can do big things.
The Prime Minister said the advantages gained from the international relations afforded through the increased travel budget far outweigh the costs and will pay off for the country in the long run. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
The Prime Minister also hoping to bring clarity to his government's decision to seek authorization to borrow up to $300 million following much discussion about it. The Prime Minister putting it out there that this is a precautionary measure.
It does not mean we will borrow the full $300 million. That's not what it means. The authorization is for up to $300 million. Again, not a commitment to borrow the full amount. This gives us the ability to act in the best interest of the country, borrowing only when it's prudent and when the timing is right under normal market conditions. These funds will not be used to finance the government's deficit operations, nor will they be used to fund any current government projects. These funds are intended for something much more strategic. They are intended to be placed into the National Investment Fund. The purpose of the National Investment Fund is to acquire valuable assets that will help build a prosperous future for all Bahamians.
New at 11, opposition leader Michael Pintard is welcoming the reduction in egg prices, which took a sharp decline this week after leading grocery chain SuperValu announced a new partnership supported by the Ministry of Agriculture. The new partnership allowed it to source the eggs from a supplier outside of the U.S., where it had historically sourced eggs. The grocer promises the same quality, but at much lower cost to consumers. In recent months, the price of eggs had skyrocketed to almost $13 a dozen. And with the still unsettled bird flu outbreaks across the U.S. causing the deaths of thousands of chickens, prices were showing no signs of coming down anytime soon. This new deal for SuperValu, though, has slashed prices to around $4 a dozen. Outside the House of Assembly this morning, Mr. Pintard endorsed this latest development.
What we want is for affordable prices for Bahamians, and there are a number of measures that can accomplish that, and we support those measures as long as the regular testing is done, and we have an agency that's more than capable of doing that, and that is the Agriculture, Food, Health and Safety Organization under the Ministry of Agriculture. And so BASFA can in fact do any research to determine safety. So we have very little concerns there.
While the opposition leader is at least at ease for now, with egg prices coming down, he still has the government on the hook for the Golden Yolk program, asking where is the money and why has the administration failed to deliver on this program.
Even though when they came to office, we had already completed the research from the Food and Agriculture Organization, from CARDI and other agencies in terms of how to become self-sufficient both in meat as well as eggs.
Former cabinet minister and leader of the Democratic National Alliance, Bradwell McCartney, is weighing in on the future of the Free National Movement ahead of the next general election. McCartney is calling on the F&M to allow Dr. Hubert Minnis to run in the upcoming election, warning that failing to do so could cost them the election. Our Devontae Hanna is on the story.
McCartney, who once served as a card-carrying member of the F&M, believes former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis still holds significant sway within the party and among voters in the Killarney constituency. And for those reasons, he told our Clint Watson on the rundown last night that the F&M ought to ensure that Dr. Minnis is on the ticket, or else it will not be good for them.
But if they want to try an election, don't be foolish and do things that will split the party or cause dissension within the party. You need to come together. Otherwise, dog eat your lunch. Bray will have you for lunch.
The former DNA leader stressed the importance of unity within the F&M, arguing the internal divisions could weaken its chances at the polls.
If you got some personal beef, keep that to yourself. You need to win. You need to try win an election, right? You will regret it if that doesn't happen.
McCartney's comments come just weeks after Minnis told reporters he'll run as a candidate in the next general election, regardless of if he receives the F&M's nomination or not.
I supported Dr. Hubert Minnis.
You supported Dr. Minnis?
Dr. Minnis. That was a leadership run.
So that to
June of last year.
So to you, you were separating him from your support for the party then?
Well, I'm not part of the F&M anymore.
Do you support the F&M?
No, I support what is good for this country.
The party, he says, has a choice to make.
I think it will be a detriment to the F&M, and they'll be handing the election to the PLP.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Students from the University of the Bahamas are tonight pleading with the government to meet its commitment of financial assistance. Fed up with the chronic delays to the government's tertiary grant program, the students are taking a more public and vocal approach. Corval Pyfrom has the students' concerns and the government's response to them.
UB Student Government Association taking the unusual step of writing directly to the government because once again it says students' lives are being adversely impacted, their education thrown in limbo. Delays in getting critical funds for supplies, academic resources, and accommodations, funds guaranteed under the government's tertiary grant program, have not been dispersed. SGA President Shante Deal says students, particularly those in nursing and teaching programs, those most impacted, have been waiting on these funds since last semester, though this problem, she insists, has existed long before then.
These student aids include the teachers' grants, the nurses' grant, as well as the accommodations grant. So all of these students who fall under these various grants or stipends, they have been affected by these delayed payments.
In their letter, the students asked the government four crucial questions. Has it failed to uphold its financial obligations to the university, thereby placing the students in limbo? Has it allocated the funds needed to support the grant to other areas? What priority does it place on higher education? And how does this align with the institution's founding vision? Well, Education Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin hadn't yet read the students' letter when she spoke to reporters Wednesday morning, but she was nonetheless sympathetic to their plight and promised swift action.
But we have to work out a methodology that would allow for more efficient payment, so we don't end up in this situation where students are there being stressed out on the issue of this subvention to their studies.
The minister, as you heard us say there, says this matter is most regrettable. However, both sides seem genuinely committed to resolving the situation both amicably and expeditiously. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Thank you, Corval. Hopefully a resolution is around the corner. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this month, sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies. Safety first.
The power of local government impacting the lives of Bahamians across the country. Our Altabis Munning spoke with Exuma's chief counselor today on his 5th term serving in local government.
Local government elections took place in January, and that means many of the local government districts around the country have been fully operational. And that's the same right here in Exuma. Joining me now is the Chief Counselor for Exuma, Glenn Davis. And Chief Counselor, tell us about some of the plans you have now that you're in office for the island of Exuma.
Okay, our plans right now is to try to first clean up Exuma and build a relationship with our businesses and investors to create a better atmosphere for areas here in Exuma. We're also working with our member parliament, Chester Cooper, stuff back to our to get our youth playing sports here and get Exuma again.
You were telling me earlier that a lot of Exuma residents are embracing the local government system. How are they doing that?
We're working just to try to help the areas, keep the areas clean and try obeying the rules that have been set for the people of Exuma.
Do you feel as though Exuma residents are understanding the concept of local government now?
They got to understand it. It's much better as we go along and we be more visible, more vocal about what we're going to do or what we are doing in Exuma.
Thank you. And that was the Chief Counselor for Exuma, Glenn Davis. And I must say that the entire local government board here in Exuma, representing several townships, is ready to do the work on this island. Reporting for the Bahamas tonight in Exuma, I'm Altabis Munnings. Back to you.
Thank you for that reporting, Altavis. International Women's Day is being celebrated globally this coming Saturday, and Bahari is joining the celebration and making sure all women are attired for the occasion. Matea Cunningham has the details.
Bahamian luxury clothing brand Bahari is set to celebrate International Women's Day this Saturday across all its store locations. Since debuting its first collection and opening its first store in 2014, Bahari has become known for its modern, chic, and culturally expressive designs. General Manager Carol Barnett shared how the brand plans to honor the occasion, offering insight into its commitment to celebrating women.
So there's always a taste and a touch of the Bahamas in all of our designs. And always remember, when you look good, you feel good. That helps to build your confidence. You know, when you walk out and you look in the mirror and you see yourself, you know, you have a little pep, an extra pep in your step. And sometimes as women, we endure so much. You know, when we talk about in the workplace, just that fight to break through the glass ceiling, to be able to excel. Some persons are experiencing, you know, domestic violence. It's just so many different things that women are experiencing. You see the woman at the helm trying to work 2 and 3 jobs so that she can take care of her children. And so she needs to feel good. She needs to look good. And this is our opportunity to be able to give, to help her.
Bridging the gap between women's clothing and women's appreciation, I then asked Ms. Barnett for further details on the sale.
So we're celebrating women. All things female will be on sale, up to 50%. And like I said, in some instances, there are 1 or 2 items that may, you know, expand beyond 50 to 75%, but all things female. So, you know, if you've been eyeing that outfit for a little while now and you just didn't have the means financially to purchase, now is the time to make your purchase. We're talking about dresses, we're talking about the 2-piece outfits, even some of the new line that we just dropped. That will be on sale. Not 50%, but, you know, we'll have a small percentage of a discount on that as well. Jewelry, everything that's female will be on sale.
Superheroes, a synonym for women, a statement Carol Barnett, General Manager of Bahari, agrees with. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Matea Cunningham.
Thank you very much, Matea. Catholics and Anglicans took a black cross to the forehead today, one symbolic of repentance and mortality, but more importantly, marking the beginning of a pivotal spiritual period. Our Daniel Dean has this story tonight.
Today marks the beginning of Lent, a period otherwise referred to as a season commencing 40 days before Easter. The same true locally. Anglicans and Catholics globally pause for a time of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. In his 77 years, Sir Burton Hall has spent half of his life in participation.
It's the beginning of Lent, but it's a part of the rituals in which we engage to constantly remind ourselves of the Christian story and the Christian message. And it is the repetition of these things which educates the younger generation and reminds the older generation of what it's all about.
Sean Darrow, on theme with the season, making this sacrifice.
I took off my lunch hour to come to this Ash Wednesday. It means a lot to me to experience the power of Lent, and it gives me time to rejuvenate on what I've done in the past and to make up for the future, that I may be able to serve my Lord, God, and Savior. And I've christened in this church from 1967. I've schooled to St. Francis. I've always kept the church in my heart.
Overseeing the blessing of Lent and application of ashes at St. Francis Xavier Cathedral, Archbishop Patrick C. Pinder.
We are mortals, that indeed this life we live is only but for a time. And also we are accountable to the Lord for how we live that time of these days of our lives. And as a consequence, this is a time for us to actually take a stock of exactly how we are living our lives.
Some giving up red meat, some social media. But whatever it is, ideally at the end of the Lent season, participants would understand the concept of giving up what they think to be good for something better, ultimately strengthening their relationship with their Lord and Savior. Reporting for the Bahamas tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thank you, Danielle. Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. That's straight ahead.
Of fat. Tasty Bites instant oats lowers cholesterol levels. So if you're looking to keep your heart healthy and reduce bad cholesterol, there's no better choice. Those wanting to lose weight also see results because Tasty Bites slows digestion, making you feel full longer. So if you want to lower your cholesterol, lose weight, and have healthy skin, try Tasty Bite instant oats today.
Need a DNA test to find out if someone is your father, your child, or your grandparent? Call DNA Direct at 324-0665.
Wednesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Private school rivalries renewed today at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, playing host to day one of the 2025 BAISS Track and Field Championships. Our Eugene Stewart was trackside and fills us in on all the action from day one.
Well, day one of the 2025 BAISS Track and Field meet off to a hot start at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, with athletes preparing themselves for an intense 3 days of competition. The day ending with records being broken and Carifta standards qualified. This is Roberts breaking the under-20 girls 400-meter record by crossing the line at 54.52 seconds. The previous record of 54.89 seconds was held by Shawnee Miller-Rebo. In the javelin throw, a 1-2 punch for Queen's College. In the under-20 girls, Tasia Stubbs with a record-breaking throw of 45.98 meters, and Akeel Williams breaking his own record in the boys under-15 javelin throw, 58.43 meters.
Honestly, the throw, I'm happy I broke the record, and I give glory to God for that. But I do know that that wasn't close to my best, so I look forward to competing and throwing even further distances in the future.
I just give all thanks to God for allowing me to hit this big goal. Just running fast. My body is, because we iced yesterday before the throw, so my body was rejuvenated.
A look at the standings after day one. In 14th, St. Andrew's International School with 7.50 points. In 13th place, Bahamas Academy with 8 points. In 12th position, Charles W. Saunders with 12 points. Lifer Key International School in 11th place with 14 points. Jordan Prince William in 10th position with 22 points. Nassau Christian Schools in 9th with 29 points. Kingsway Academy in 8th with 44.50 points. Windsor School, they hold 7th position with 58 points. In 6th place, Aquinas College with 60.50 points. St. John's and St. Anne's tied for 4th with 68 points. In 3rd place, Temple Christian School with 172 points. In 2nd, St. Augustine's College with 397 points. And leading the way after day one with 427.50 points, Queen's College. Competition continues tomorrow at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Eugene Stewart.
Still on track, this time from the House of Assembly, Sports Minister Yomo Mario Boleg during his contribution this afternoon, revealing that the Bahamas has submitted a bid to host the next installment of the World Athletics World Relays, fresh off the 242 being the host venue for the latest installment of the global track meet.
It's undeniable. Thousands of visitors with sustainable financial investments and a notable surge in economic activity, all while the world spotlighted shine brightly on us. But the true return on investment wasn't solely financially. It was the resounding statement that we possess the expertise of world-class facilities and unwavering passion to deliver exceptional sporting experience. Building on the momentum, the Bahamas has its eyes firmly fixed on the 2026 World Athletics Relays. The bidding process is already well underway, with a pivotal pitch presented just yesterday morning. We're not just aiming to host, we are committed to creating lasting legacies.
Mr. Boleg adding that the sports tourism product is indeed booming, as Bahamas was recently recognized by the World Travel Award as the Caribbean's leading sports tourism destination. The accolade affirming the Bahamas' Sports in Paradise brand is amongst the best in the region and bodes well for the future.
We are committed to creating lasting legacies. This endeavor is about fostering opportunities for athletes, officials, and the entire local sports industry. These investments provide our young athletes the invaluable chance to compete at home soil against the world's best, inspiring them to dream bigger and push further. We are making tremendous strides, but this is just the beginning. These strategic commitments and investments will lay the foundation for the future of sports in the Bahamas, nurturing talent, driving economic growth, and solidifying our position as a global powerhouse in athletics. The road ahead is paved with opportunity. The Bahamas is poised to take it all the way to the finish line. What we have achieved so far is just the beginning of something much greater. The World Athletics Relays in 2024 was a chapter in a much larger story. In the same year, the Bahamas hosted a series of elite events that further solidified our standing on the global sports map.
To the rugby pitch, a former player doing his best to give back to the youth by hosting a clinic recently for interested persons that want to know more about the game. Here's Duran Beadle.
Right, so we initially started this program to go into the communities and take kids out who have nothing to do, who's idle, to come bring them out and show them something new. It turned into a bigger thing. We had 30 kids. We came out, we had from ages 8 to 18. Basically, I started playing rugby when I was 15 years old, and I want to give back to the community. I'm now a father, and I'm 39 years old, so I can't keep playing this game forever, so passing it on to the youth.
And for Beadle, outside of the sport itself, the program has provided participants with some incredible life opportunities.
Yes, I have some kids who graduated out of school. The first program we started, I have 2 inside the National Guard now. One is in college doing architect. We have a few who just started working, and we have a few over in college right now. So this program basically took them out of the environment they were, possibly getting out of problems, even though they had the potential to do it, but this keep them stable and out of harm's way so they could keep on going and doing what they need to do.
So look at your sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this brings great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community, also help with the education of our kids in this community, and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Private and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. A rather warm day around the islands today, but a frontal system is underway. It's right now pushing through South Florida. Will move into the northwest Bahamas later on tonight, and that could bring with it 1 or 2 passing showers late tonight. But certainly behind that, we expect a nice cool down, which will last for about 2 days or so before we have another warming trend in place. And your temperatures around the islands, Marshall, Abaco at 72, much warmer in Grand Key at 76 degrees, 76 also at Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands, 75 degrees, Allenstown, Bimini, 79, Harbor Island at 76, 74 in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 76 degrees, 75 in Kemp Space on Andros, Black Point, Exuma, Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey. Georgetown, Exuma, they have a temperature there of 74 degrees. And in Ragged Island, Clarence Island, Long Island, and Crooked Island, 75. Warm temperatures in Betsy Bay, Maguana, 80 degrees. Ackland, 79. Matitani, Nagua, 78. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 78 degrees. And your forecast tonight, we are looking at partly cloudy, breezy, warmer conditions with a passing shower later on tonight. 74 degrees will be a low temperature. And then tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny, windy, less humid as that frontal system will push through during the early morning hours. High temperature getting up to 79 degrees, and the extended weather forecast, beautiful weather, taking us right through the weekend. But those breezy conditions will be with us for several days, so for boating purposes, certainly not the best conditions for being out there on the open water. So we're asking small craft to exercise extreme caution. Temperature-wise, though, it will cool down through Friday, but we'll have that warming trend begin on Saturday, getting up to about 84 degrees. That's well above normal for this time of the year on Sunday, and then things start to go back downhill again as we head into the early part of next week. Bryson.
Thank you, Basil. With the exception of boaters, that is some perfect weather. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.